We go from the diamond to the association. And speaking of 10-2, I'm 10-2 in my last 12 NBA picks. First half under, first half full game under, first half under, full game under, cash for us yesterday. And I'm starting to climb out of that horrific hole in NBA, and I couldn't do it without our guests. And we have a spectacular one who's helped very much moving me in the right direction. We have South Jersey in the house. Please welcome to the show, Getting Bills, Billy Brisbane. Brizzy, how are you, my man?
I told you I wasn't joking, Jim, when I said I wasn't a Sixers fan anymore. They too, not being a Sixer fan, we bought out the Celtics jerseys. And we wouldn't be right if we didn't bring out the GOAT. The man, the myth, the legend. Larry Bird.
Tell him, Billy.
Larry Bird in the building, baby. Let's shoot for some buckets today, because last night we knew the buckets weren't going to fall, and we cashed on some unders last night. Honestly, probably the first under I played that wasn't a first half under in the Eastern Conference game, and probably the whole entire playoffs, and it was beautiful.
It was a thing of absolute beauty. It was also a great opportunity for live betting.
I was fucking scared, man. Halfway through that first quarter, I was like,
the first quarter, I knew we were good. I knew we were good, but the first 9 minutes or 8 minutes,
yeah.
But I'm a cooler, man. I start walking around yelling at them for bricks, and I get yelled at by my wife for waking up the kids. But I start yelling for bricks, and they give me said bricks. It's
not even. We get the subs in, put in the Bruce Browns, the Dennis Schroeders of the world. Let those guys go shoot.
I loved it. It was very fun, and also I got a chance to live bet the Nuggets plus 3.5. Minus 105. That was all very, very, very enjoyable.
It's a different weird type of day, though, where I feel like I'm bringing the ingredients to the table. I need you to chef it up, cook it up, and let's win some tickets, because I haven't placed anything officially yet, but I have some very hard leans and money loaded up on my FanDuel account to make these bets official.
No. You're getting a little bit of flack. I have my Paul Pierce jersey right over there, but I can't rock it because I got the green screen behind me. But I could. I'll be thinking of my Paul Pierce jersey right over there. Let's get to work. Game 2 of the East Finals. Miami Heat at Boston Celtics. Celtics were 32-9 at home during the regular season. They certainly do not have that home record in the playoffs. The Heat were 17-24 on the road during the regular season. Again, they certainly do not have that record in the playoffs. The series is being played one game at 97 possessions a game. We've talked often about the Heat being the only team in the playoffs whose pace has gone up. They're faster than the regular season, and they're playing at exactly the pace that's being played in this series. The playoffs, the Heat have played 97.03 possessions a game. This game one was played at 97 possessions. The Celtics have slowed down in the playoffs, and they're playing at the same pace as they have in the playoffs in the series in game one. Let's take a look at the line history and then the cash, set a table, and then cap this together. First off, let's move over to the line history here for this one. And we heard that there were 10s on the board. I do not see 10s, but we certainly see 9.5s. Pinnacle opened this up at 8.5. It lasted at 8.5 for 1 minute. 1 minute before it moved to 9. Then it lasted at 9 up until 20 minutes ago when it moved to 9.5 over at Pinnacle. Let's take a look at the total here. This total opening up at, let me go over to Pinnacle and get their numbers. Pinnacle is moving the quickest towards the over in this one. So Pinnacle opened this up at 223.5. They're now at, Jesus, I'm looking at the Lakers game. My bad. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was confused for a second. I was like, wait, where are we going with this?
My bad. Sorry. Pinnacle opened this up at 215. They're now at 215.5. There are some books, some dice books hanging 216. No legit books, but they're the highest total at 215.5. So let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. Cash flow. Let's go. We have the 46% of tickets and 69% of the cash is on the Boston Celtics. 28% of tickets and 82% of cash is on the under, yet it's gone up a half point. We're going to set a table, but let's bring on your next guest. Very proud of his Boston Celtics continuing this role that may end up in the NBA Finals, yet they are down 1-0 in this series. Please welcome the host of Say Hey Plays of the Day, Jose, my tits are bleeding Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
I'm great. I didn't hear no bell after the first game. I ain't hear no bell. I'm ready to fight.
No, I hear you. Lizzo wasn't singing. The
Too
series
bad
is
you're
on.
not
She was.
Boston, there's Nasty Nate in the house. So you have backup. Nate is in the house.
Billy's on our side too now.
The Celtics lose game 1. They lost last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, game 1. Miami looked very strong. That was such a dominant third quarter. It's pretty clear who the best player on the floor is. Now, that's just one game, and that must change. But right now, Jimmy Butler looks spectacular. 35 points, 7 assists, 6 steals, 5 rebounds. He was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Bam went for 28. Tatum went for 30 points, but disappeared completely in the fourth quarter. 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Didn't attempt a single shot. Brown went for 22 and 9. He has to be better. Billy Friedrich on the first half over 110. We'll start with Brizzy. And let me say, Brizzy, that yesterday we both knew we wanted the under. I don't feel that way.
I don't feel the same.
Now, we see the sharp money on the under. But let's let Brizzy break it down for us here. East Finals Game 2, Heat Celtics. Brizzy, take it away.
Yeah, I could only really lean Boston here in this spot, hence the jersey. Home favorites in Eastern Conference are 21-10 ATS off a loss. Boston this postseason's 4-1 ATS off a loss. So I expect Boston to bounce back here. I mean, Miami shot far from expectation in game 1, 65% efficiency from the field goal, but that was only supposed to be expected 50.8% from the field goal range, which is drastic difference from their 54.5 expected field goal range throughout the postseason so far. So Miami should feel fat and happy after doing their job winning the game in Boston. So I kind of went a different route with this one. I went towards FanDuel Sportsbook. Haven't placed a bet yet. We'll place it in a couple of minutes, but the first half try bets here for the Boston Celtics, -3.5, -160. The same home Game 2 down 0-1 trends apply to the first half as well. The home team is 5-1-1 straight up in the first half in this spot this postseason with an average win margin of 11 plus points. 4 of the home teams were up by double digits at the half, and 2 of them were up by 20 plus points. So, I mean, Boston's first half rating progressively has gotten better from the regular season at 9.2% to plus 10.5% in the playoffs, while Miami's net, they have a net negative rating in the first half of the playoffs so far. So I feel like Miami had a great second half in game 1, but let's not forget how it started. Boston was up by 9 points at half with their backs against the wall. I expect them to show up a little bit here. We talked a little bit about the over-under. The Celtics showed up. If they show up defensively, I think these games are going to go a little bit different. The Heat took 51% of their shots from the mid-range and 16% at the rim and 33% from deep. Where Boston lost game 1 was the Heat hit 55% of their threes and 57% of non-corner threes, which is the easiest shot in the NBA to hit. So they're hitting everything. Those numbers are definitely due to regress. And the Celtics took 33% from deep, 25% at the rim. So I tend to lean towards the under in theory, but I'm going to stay off due to the fact that the Eastern Conference unders in game 3 and on are such a strong 10. trend, but there are some good, strong trends for the under today. Since 2003, teams that shot better than 50% from three-pointer in their previous game have saw the under go 127, 97, and 11 in the following game, so hitting at 55.3%. Boston tends to respond to losses, especially defensively. Opponent team totals are 10-4 to the under following a Boston loss in a playoff game over the past two seasons. But the Heat offensively, their numbers weren't really that impressive. They scored 14 points out of isolation. 9 of those 14 points were from Jimmy Butler. So without the pick and roll, you're basically gambling on the Heat to hit 3-point shots in this game. So my favorite player prop of the day, though, is going to be Derek White over 8.5 points. Adjustments will be made, and the first one will be the Celtics not starting Robert Williams. He finished game one with a -14 plus-minus rating in only 25 minutes of action. The Celtics are going to go small. Derek White picked up 4 quick fouls in his first 9 minutes of action in the last game, but still found a way to score 11 points in just 20 minutes in 5 games versus the Heat so far this year. He scored 10 points, 15 points, 13 points, 23, and 11. He's cleared over 8.5 points in 25 out of his last 30 games when playing 20-plus minutes. And prior to Robert Williams starting in Game 5 in the Sixers series, he was averaging 31 minutes and 14.1 points throughout his playoff series so far. So I'm going to fire up some Derek White props in the Boston first half. How are you feeling about it?
The more we talk about it, and that was a great breakdown. First off, Derek White over 8.5 points. What's the juice?
-125.
-125. So that's your official spot thus far. Your lone official spot. Well, I can't. I can't bet the over. And with 72% of tickets on the over and just 18% of the cash, I just can't be on that side. I understand a lot of you guys are, but this run that I've had coincided with me completely staying off games. And, I have experts come on, give out action, and I can just sit back. And so at this point, if I don't have the sharper, bigger bets on my side, now the market is going up. The total is going up. So that makes you think that, they're just opening up their arms to under cash. And a lot of us cashed the under yesterday. And so maybe there's a bias in play. But Skydragon saying what to do with Miami. I can understand this being this is a tricky spot here. Billy Friedrich says Zach Zarba, ref crew chief tonight. 4 playoff games. Teams have averaged a total of 243.5 points. Other refs tonight, James Williams, 8 games, 234.5, and Tyler Ford, 238 in a third. The 238.3. Let's hear what Jose Blood on My Tits Bouquet has to say about this spot. Game 2, Heat Celtics. How are you betting this?
Celtics smash. Shot to Nasty Nate. Celtics second quarter would be my play. 9 is obviously a lot of points, so no thanks. Celtics second quarter for me there. The only play I'll be making official. I believe in the Celtics. They just have to be assholes and go down and have a little bit of sweat on them to play. We're all like this, like in school. Wait until the last second, procrastinate on your papers to feel that sweat so you can get it working again. That's what the Celtics are essentially. They're a bunch of assholes. They need to get down. They need to get down so they play well. Very predictable loss there, even though I did lose on a triple up, whatever. 2.5 -115 for the Celtics second quarter. I believe in the Boston Celtics. They win this game. I even looked at their series price. It's still -200. I was disappointed about that. But, Celtics win the series still in 5 games. Or 6 games, actually. That'll be nice. I think the Heat win 1 in Miami. But the Celtics are just a good road team as well. So like Billy said, Miami lets off the gas here. They lose this game. They lose game 3. And then from there on, we'll see what happens.
By the way, looking at the futures market, the cappers that are still high on the Lakers, plus 850 now to win the NBA championship. They're going up to plus 850. To win the series, plus 350 for the Lakers. And the Celtics are minus 230, even though they're down 1 0. Jake Crick, we have cappers in the chat dropping horse action, but we are going to be all day Saturday starting at 10:15 a.m. So here we go. After all of this talk, Tori Coker says you are crazy. The Heat going to win this title. Billy Friedrich saying the Heat at plus 200 to win the series. Yeah, plus 190 is pretty wild. And there's some Dizzle in the house. Dizzle, it has been too long, man. Great to see you back in action. And he is hoping Denver takes care of business so he can go to an NBA Finals game. Wouldn't that be magic? And I do have the Nuggets just at plus 230, unfortunately. Gamblers first glance in NBA Razor Sharp picks is on Boston -9. What do you think, Billy Brisbane, after all of this? Because I get nervous with Jose's Celtics second quarter -2.5 just because I feel like the Celtics are going to show out right off the hop. And if they do that, that makes the second quarter nerve-wracking. I know that you have written your script for the game, and that's the Heat look strong early. But that's my concern there, which actually kind of leads me to a Celtics first quarter bet. But my ROI on first quarters, 2.5 or higher, are bad.
I don't blame you, Jim. I feel like if you just don't bet first quarters in the playoffs, and your ROI just goes up tremendously.
I just anything over -2.5 or higher. Historically, I have a negative ROI, so I
unless it's Denver in the first quarter, I'm not betting it.
So at this point, I don't have any action here. Is there anything you want to add now, Billy? Or are you going to wait a little bit of wait and study it throughout the day?
I want to add this first half try bet. People are asking me why did I buy it down. Hey, if they're offering it, why not take it?
Nice job, Kenny V's. The pick 3 gave it a Gulfstream on its last leg with the 5 singled. I love that. So, what is the number that you want here for the first half?
-160 first half try, -3.5.
-3.5. Let me just see if I can beat that here. So let's get over here to this magic spot. Or sorry, this Heat spot. So
they have that on Bet365, right?
Wow, they're only letting you go to -4 at Pinnacle. They'll definitely have it at Bet365. Here, let's see what they have for you here. Alternative first half point spread. Yes. No. Oh, wow. What dicks. No, they're not offering the 3.5.
This shit is moving. It's only on FanDuel then because they literally have it listed as first half try.
All right. So what is it? -3.5 first half, -3.5 at what number?
-160.
Because they have. That's interesting that they're not offering it. I always find that so interesting because they're offering the 2.5 at 240 and the 4.5 at -175. But the
get this bet in now because this bitch is moving.
Wow. All right. So Billy on Celtics first half -3.5 here.
Yeah, the only reason why I'm buying it down is because if they're offering it, I might as well pay the juice. I mean, MMA, we're getting in the MMA mood for tomorrow. So juices. What's a little bit of juice if it's a winner?
The juice is loose, man. Tori Coker says no respect for the Heat, just like no respect for the Panthers. But yet they keep winning and winning. So keep betting Boston and Carolina and losing your money, says Tori Coker.
Similar to the Sixers series in the last series when me and Jose were talking about it, and the Sixers got absolutely blown out in the second game because they didn't care. They already won.
Yeah, maybe the 76ers should care about winning all the games too. But I'll say Tori Coker said the same shit last year. I distinctly remember saving all your comments, Tori. So we'll see. We'll see, Tori.
I love Tori. I love Kevin with Tori. Great job, you guys. It looks like this is, you know what? It's fine. A quiet night, just me and capping horses all night long is very, very fine for me.